episode, and today we're going to be talking about some recent drama that is circulating because of this YouTuber, Squizzy, or her other channel name, Hyojin. But to make it easier today, I'm going to be just calling her Squizzy throughout the video. Before I start the video though, this is a recap of who Squizzy is. Squizzy is an Australian YouTuber animator, known for her animation and speed paint videos, having 1 million subscribers as I'm speaking. On June 10th, 2019, Slazo was falsely accused of assault by his ex-girlfriend, which resulted in many YouTubers such as Squizzy and I'm Alex to show their support on Slazo's ex-girlfriend Che. However, after Slazo's response that debunks the allegations with evidence, Squizzy received backlash due to her not apologizing to Slazo and for defending Che. But later in September 2019, Squizzy would then apologize for the situation on one of her live streams on Twitch, though it's now lost. But that's not what I'm going to be talking about today. As in recently, she's been exposed for being an alleged abuser. But before I dive into the video though, I would like to say Squizzy hasn't responded yet, so it does make her innocent until proven guilty. But she is pretty screwed at the moment though, so we will have to wait and see on a response. So in the start of this 4-page document talking about Squizzy, Punk Duck says he's been in an abusive relationship for about 2.5 years, and according to this document, she apologized privately. With Duck trying to keep the situation as private as he can, he reached his point and just released it all. In the second paragraph of this document, he says, the first 6 months were mostly fine. Occasionally, they would do the classic, redirect anger, you're feeling from unrelated issues to your partner, and berate me. But I kept being promised it would stop, and I believed it. They were, however, constantly materialistic, even at the cost of my own feelings. Constant arguments over what I wear, what I buy, and what I do on nights out were in order because anything they would do would be a status thing, and they wanted me to act the same way so I wouldn't embarrass them. So as this goes on, Squizzy would play the victim, become a constant emotional manipulator, even kicking out Duck out of his own room just to stream to raise money for a ticket. Although with this, he would obey her orders and would try not to start anything, making him feel like he was an emotional punching bag. Duck's mom even kind of got involved in this abusive relationship situation in a way. His mom caught wind of how much Squizzy was screaming at Duck, even getting worried for Squizzy herself, but thinking she was just some starving college kid, she offered to pay for the important flight from Europe to Australia. And it turns out after this trip, it took Squizzy 1 year to pay Duck's mom back. She would do things like not let him sleep on the bed at night and stuff, basically taking his rights away as a human, yelling at him constantly for small reasons. Then a couple of days later, prior January 3rd, 2020, she asked Duck to install a copy of a game that was really difficult for her to download. So Duck tries his best to help her in any way, but was yelled at and blamed once again because he struggled as well, putting him on the verge of tears. Squizzy then joins a call like minutes later, acting like nothing happened, but deafens and Duck says what they did was messed up. But it ended up with Squizzy hitting Duck hard, so hard in fact, his head bounced off the wall. And this is when he finally knew he was in an abusive relationship, as 1 year was emotional and the other was physical. Since he took notice, he called up one of his friends, explaining to their friend of the situation he's currently in. He asked if he can stay with him for the remainder of his trip, and his friend instantly agrees. His friend calls an ambulance to the house and an Uber for Duck. Although Squizzy walks in on Duck trying to pack and starts to cry once again, saying they ruined their year, and this is where stuff gets crazy. She runs into the bathroom, grabs a knife. At first, she pointed at him, then at herself. Then Duck tries to disarm her, scratching his arm really bad, managing to get the knife out. But at that point, Squizzy's mom walks in, calls her an attention whore, a drama queen, and much more. But the police show up along with the ambulance. They take Squizzy away, and Duck goes to his friend's place. She does the same thing, texts him, blames him again. He apologizes. With this, I mean, they let Squizzy off with a warning, but leaving her with a criminal record, which Squizzy was angry about. So Duck writes a statement to the police so she doesn't end up getting a criminal record. And during these arguments, it seemed that Squizzy would use Duck's serious insecurities, like his car accident, against Duck. Duck would find ways to end the relationship in a mutual way, so it wouldn't end up being bad to where Squizzy would be a harm to herself or whatsoever. But since it was currently February 2021, that's that's when COVID was a big thing around that time. He would say it's getting harder for them to see each other, although with that, they didn't speak for a month to let their emotions settle, but they did get back in touch months later. Squizzy joined a Discord server with Duck and a bunch of Duck's close friends, but with the trauma he had, he asked her to kindly leave, but he got threats from her for doing that, so she didn't change. Duck would soon tell his friends the situation that he's in, but was also cautious because Squizzy would say if people found out about it, she would end it all, playing victim. But then she apologized to Duck later and reassured she's seeking help now. As I'm recording this, Squizzy hasn't made a response, so her response could be really different from what Ducky has said here. But she's really screwed in this situation. What was said in this document was pretty disgusting and shouldn't even be defended at all whatsoever. Considering all the past controversies she's been in so far, I can believe it from my own point of view. I don't think she would make a response that quick though, because debunking all this is just crazy to begin with. And just with all the proof, yeah, she's definitely done. But if she does make a response, I will be covering that and explaining that too. Anyways, this video has come to an end. My name is Zoid and I'm signing off.
I chain smoke till I choke, have a good heart but bad health.